I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What do you mean, calm it down? It's a fight. Referees telling two fighters who want to fight to calm it down? He should calm down.
I saw he's like a clown in his show, man. He's not your guy.
Because Tyson Fury's back, and all you motherfuckers are under attack.
Look, Eddie Hearn can say all what he likes. Who gives a shit what Eddie Hearn says? It's garbage.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
Can you let me retire and be happy? Please? Just please.
Bombs away from the Bronx Bomber!
Wanda! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You're not shit.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
I got dropped, man.
Are you kidding?
No, you won the fight.
OMG, I am so excited.
Any of you radio personalities think you want smoke? Call me Mr. Chimney. I want smoke.
Yes. What is up, MCR family? Hope everyone's having a great day out there. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe, smash the like button, like I said. Call in 323-870-4051 if you're international. Call in via a Google Hangout link. How you do that, email me. All the info is below on the screen. I'm Matt, the Hipster Hunter. And some really important news to announce, literally, as the show broke, or as the show started. Canelo Alvarez versus Daniel Jacobs is seemingly announced. That literally happened, 5 minutes before showtime? 3 minutes before showtime?
During the intro.
So Canelo Alvarez, Daniel Jacobs is not on the title, but we're definitely going to be discussing that because it's now breaking news.
You can chop it up for another.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, this is... Thank you, Boxing World.
I sent you a Lance Pugmire LA Times article on it, so you can use that.
Yes, and obviously joined today by Mr. Robbie Hearns himself, one of the great second cousin, twice removed of Senior Eddie, who we're obviously going to be talking about with the whole Dillian Whyte, free agency, rumors, etc. A lot to get to, and now a lot's sort of spiraling into chaos in a good way with this Canelo Alvarez, Daniel Jacobs move. God, poor Triple G. Just got to say that, right? I mean... But anyways, we're going to get to that in a bit. I don't even know where to start now, Rob. Rob, how are you doing today? Are you doing good?
A little bit flustered, as the great WBC champion would say.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit of trouble trying to send you audio and shit like that. And then, okay, Matt's finally got the audio. We're good. We played the Gap band, we were good. We were ready to go. And then an alert came up from Lance Pugmire straight to Canelo Alvarez's page saying Canelo Jacobs official for Cinco de Mayo. Well, it'll be May the 4th, but Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Yes.
And I'm in the back here going, Matt, check your phone. And you're going, what? And I'm like, just check your phone. Typing it in the chat, all sorts. But yeah.
Yeah, let's just get to the Canelo Jacobs shit, because that's breaking news, and it's like truly like immediate reaction, right? Like the show has started when the news dropped. That was weird. I don't think we've ever had breaking news that on cue for a show.
At least we know they're listening and they want us to tell the world.
Thank you, Oscar, and thank you, Canelo. But like I said, I'll post on the screen again or show on the screen again. Canelo Alvarez versus Daniel Jacobs, Cinco de Mayo, per Lance Pugmire. Wow. This is a fight that I really wanted. I think it's a fight that I actually kind of want a little bit more than the Triple G trilogy fight. I'll be completely honest. But it was one that I sort of put out of my mind. I didn't think was going to happen. I thought we were just going to get Canelo Triple G, the trilogy fight, because it made probably the most monetary sense for the zone. Obviously, whatever has happened has sort of put a monkey wrench into it. I don't know if it's on the zone side. I don't know if it's on Triple G's side. I don't know if it's on Canelo's side. I don't know, the mechanics of how we got here, but we're here now. And I'm happy. Like, again, I think this is a fresh matchup in the division. Daniel Jacobs is a giant middleweight, tall, rangy. I think he has the speed, athleticism, and power to really give Canelo some issues. I mean, stylistically, I think this is a tougher fight for Canelo for this date than a Triple G trilogy fight. I'll be completely honest. It may not do as much in terms of Google Trends. It may not do as much in terms of subscriber rates for DAZN, but it, in my opinion, is a better fight. I'm all in favor of this, and I'm ecstatic. And also, it's another sign that Daniel Jacobs is seemingly in lock with DAZN. I think that's a good move. If it means they lost Triple G, we can maybe have a debate on whether that was a good thing or not. But right now, I think it's good that they locked down Daniel Jacobs on their platform for the near future. And plus, it's a fresh matchup that I think everyone is going to enjoy, both from a actual in-ring substance point, and also it's fresh, it's new. And both these guys are highly respectable in a lot of different ways, so I'm all in favor of it. Rob, your immediate thoughts to Canelo, Daniel Jacobs, Cinco de Mayo. I'm going to try to look for if there's a venue yet for this fight, but
not as far as I can see.
Yeah,
I've just Matchroom have tweeted it that it's official. It's on Canelo, Daniel Jacobs, WBC, WBA, IBF, Ring Magazine, World Middleweight titles on the line May 4th, live on DAZN USA.
Quickly, in Lance Pugmire's article, I'll show you guys on the screen right now.
It'll be T-Mobile, right?
That's what it says. Alvarez's promoter will soon hurdle the MGM Resorts executive Richard Sturm to negotiate the fight's likely placement at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. This is Lance Pugmire speaking, and I highly trust Lance Pugmire when it comes to reporting news and information about the sport. Definitely one of the top 3 journalists in the game. So yes, I saw Gary, I think, commenting in the chat, like MSG, Barclays, something like that in New York, obviously with the Daniel Jacobs connection, and plus Canelo fighting at MSG in his last fight. I think that's unlikely. Plus, with Cinco de Mayo, you can't really capture that Mexican fan base in the New York area like you can in Vegas. It's too far away, to be honest.
Yeah, and also Golden Boy already had the T-Mobile booked, right? They already had it lined up. But regarding the Triple G thing, I was reading this week that it's potentially that's the September fight is Triple G, that they're looking at that one. So we may still get Triple G signing. Apparently, Eddie, I think it was Mike Coppinger, said they met again, and like another improved offer has gone in to Triple G. So we'll wait on that news. But
for the DAZN, right? Not for Canelo, for DAZN.
Sorry, yeah, for DAZN and Triple G. So but yeah, apparently then looking at the September for the Canelo Triple G trilogy. But yeah, breaking news literally during the intro. But yeah, I like it. Obviously the Rocky Fielding fight was the welcome to DAZN, sort of big celebration. He's here.
Like it was the free gimme fight. It was the free appetizers at like Costco. I know that might not resonate with UK listeners, but for US listeners, you understand how amazing free appetizers are at Costco.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this fight, I like it, and I think people are generally happy. I mean, looking in our chat, people seem to be happy with it and saying it's, I think people were wondering what DAZN were going to keep throwing towards Canelo, whether he was going to get quite a few sort of what we would deem, Canelo should win this, no trouble. But this is obviously one that people are like, oh, this is a test, Jacobs done a good job with Triple G, and some people felt he even won that fight. It's going to be a good test, but I feel while Jacobs has continued winning, I don't know that he's been that impressive in some of the fights, and that I see Canelo is on another level, and it's he's on the upward curve. I think he's just getting better and better. I'm not gauging that particularly off the Fielding fight, but just how he went with Triple G last time out was. This is going to be a bit of a contradiction, but I felt Triple G won, but I could to stand there and come forward to Triple G.
Contradictions.
To come forward to Triple G like he did, the way he stood his ground, people thought he'd be, on his bike and wouldn't fight, as Triple G said, the Mexican style. And he was like, "Well, let's do it then." And as much as people said, Triple G's chin was unbelievable to what he took, but
just to sort of
Canelo's was as well. He
yes.
took shots as well. So
absolutely agree.
I just think Canelo is just on a different level. As much as this will be a fun fight, and I think competitive to a point. Like I think Jacobs will be durable and put up a good fight, but I just think Canelo is just going to be too good.
Gary's saying, are we doing predictions today, i.e. obviously Broner and Pacquiao? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We will break that down sometime in like the middle of the show. But Gary, call in anytime, 323-870-4051. Press 1 to get in the queue. But, when you mentioned, obviously, Canelo has improved and been on the upward swing for some time now. Absolutely agree. Even in the first Triple G fight, where a lot of people thought he lost, I thought he won. But digressing from that, it was a draw. The moments of Canelo being stuck on the ropes, taking time off, we saw far less of that. We saw a far more fluid back foot fighter out of Canelo in that first Triple G fight. And the second one, we saw him be the aggressor and be efficient at it. So we've always seen improvement from Canelo in the last recent fights. On top of that, he is only 29 years old. He has time on his side in a lot of ways. I guarantee Daniel Jacobs is older than him by several years, if not more. Canelo can reign for a very long time. He is that skilled. He is the deserved favorite over Jacobs, absolutely. But I'll be honest, I think Jacobs does give him some trouble in some rounds. I think Canelo will have some issue, whether he wants to go backwards and be on the defensive. I think Jacobs' range, his jab will give him issues. If he decides to be the aggressor, I think Daniel Jacobs' timing, his counter right hand, his power, his ability to switch stances, that will, I think, frustrate Canelo on his entries in a lot of ways. But it's a fantastic fight. Cannot wait to see it. Any other thoughts on Canelo Jacobs before we move on to the other topics of the day?
No, I think we sort of touched on it. I gave my opinion on how, who would win it, but again, I think that's ticked the box as to where Jacobs' loyalty, as far as network. There was obviously speculation that he's still with Al and he could go back to PBC and he could have the Charlo fight. I mean, maybe it's one fight deal. Who's not going to stick around for the Canelo money, right? But obviously, Eddie's. If he's still Matchroom USA for this fight. So I guess we're looking at maybe another co-promotion. So we'll see some Matchroom fighters on that card as well as Golden Boy, I would imagine. So whether we see a Tevin Farmer, those kind of fighters, maybe get a big baby on, who knows? We'll see what pans out as far as the undercard. But yeah, big news as we come swinging in, thinking we were already bringing people some big news. Other channels out there haven't been doing anything yet.
I want smoke.
You always think when I say other channels.
I didn't say anything. You're the one talking.
You're the one pressing
allegedly
subliminal things.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we've done that one.
Well, quickly, I just want to add on, just quickly touch on the undercard aspect of it. Because it's the zone, it's $10 a month. Like, this undercard could be shit. I'll be completely honest. Like, this could be a very shitty undercard, and I don't care. You know why? I get not Triple G. I get Canelo Jacobs, and that is a fantastic main event worth $10 a month.
And is it a definite boost in subscriptions? Do you feel this is?
I feel like any Canelo fight you're gonna see a rise, obviously.
Each time,
it's just a matter of how much of a rise, right? I think Triple G would have been a bigger subscription gain for the zone than obviously Canelo Jacobs, but I still think it does well for them. I will also say this: I'm really gonna be saying going forward, it's a bad idea just from a business standpoint to keep throwing out these free monthly trials. Just from knowing like the people that are hardcore boxing fans, they abuse that consistently. And just from a money-making standpoint, how can you sustain that for so long? You don't have the 24 million subscriber base like a Showtime has, where they can throw out free monthly trials all the time. It's just a little bit different, you know.
I wonder if that stops now, because they'll be able to say, look, we gave you Joshua. You know, that first month was free. That included Joshua. It included Andre. It included, you know, whoever. And then we've given you a Canelo fight for free. Remember, you were paying $85 for these before, but we gave you for free that month for free with Canelo on the card. So they can probably get away with, like, if people are like, where's my free month? I want a free month. So that's probably they're out on that. But and it'll be interesting, because I was seeing so many people saying, like, yeah, I got the free month for the Canelo, and I'll just not bother anymore. I'll just bother for Canelo fights. So they'll come back in, and that's it. May be now people re-upping to, you know, get it again if they weren't that bothered about the other stuff. But yeah, I think this is what the Canelo purchase to DAZN was about now. It's a big fight, you know. It's a recognizable opponent that people have wanted to see this fight, and now they're getting it.
2 really good comments in the chat. Hassan in the chat saying 7-day trials are coming soon. Definitely agree with that. I did the DC whatever, like, monthly thing that, like, it's the DC universe. It gets all the comic books, all the TV shows, right, all the movies of DC universe for, like, a free week trial, but it's like $10 a month. I wanted to show my kid the old school, like, DC cartoon shows, right? And I forgot it was only a week trial. I thought I had the whole month. So when they charged me at the end of the month, I was like, what the fuck is this? But it was only like $7.99, and they somehow, like, took off only like $1.99 from the total. Yeah, that was some bullshit. But hey, it's a money-making business, and this is capitalism right now, and it just, the market has to sustain itself in some form or fashion. And Gary said, I scammed SiriusXM for 5 years before they convinced me to sign up for $5 a month moving forward. Yeah, I know a lot of people that are scamming DAZN and, like, getting every month for free, basically. I don't know how they do it, but it's 2019. Like, people can do that, let alone you can just stream every fight basically you want illegally, and it's rather simple. Again, MCR does not support piracy, but yeah, it is what it is. Moving on, Dillian Whyte obviously has been the hero, the champion of Matchroom and Eddie Hearn fanboys for a while. Everyone's been chomping on the bit for him to fight Wilder for AJ. You know, he's been like the first, like, soldier on the field for the Matchroom fanboys in a lot of ways. And now it's slowly reversing with this news or information coming out from Dillian Whyte via Fight Hub interview that he is a, quote, free agent on a fight-to-fight basis with Matchroom, and that he has a few interesting meetings coming up. And he's at PBC event this weekend. But anyways, you guys can hear from Whyte himself via fighthub.com.
You mentioned that you manage yourself.
Yeah.
Does that mean, I mean, I don't know the details of your contract with Matchroom and this, that, and the other, but are you free to talk to other people? I mean,
yeah, I got fight-by-fight contract with him. It's like a rolling fight-by-fight with him, you know.
Okay.
Out of loyalty and stuff, we've done a lot of good business, and we do great business when the business is on, but it's just the initial side of getting the ball rolling, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've had these pay-per-views, you know what I mean, I've built them, and I'm a natural pay-per-view guy, you know what I mean? So I know what value I bring, man, you know. Yeah. I want to fight, listen, I want to fight, you know. I've turned on massive money and taken more dangerous fight for the opportunities, but now I'm at a stage in my career where I'm going to risk it all in this fight. So, you know, you got to come and talk to me properly, you know, that's all.
Do you ever look, I mean, we're here at a PBC event. Obviously, when people see that you're here, the buzz is going to start chiming that, oh, maybe he's talking to Al Haymon and PBC. Being over here, do you look at the PBC heavyweights and kind of lick your chops a little bit?
Man, you know, I want to fight all the best fighters in the world, whether they're PBC, BT, whatever. I'm a free agent, you know. I mean, American is Sky Sports and Matchroom because we do good business. We're there, but I'm in the Dillian Whyte business, so you know, whatever is best for Dillian Whyte would do.
Yeah, that's what's up.
You know, I try and be patient. I try and give everyone a fair crack at the whip, but I'm getting on. I'm 30 years old now. I've had 26 fights. It's time to start you know, having big fights, meaningful fights, and moving up the ranks properly.
Dillian,
thank you.
It's been a pleasure, my man.
Obviously, I have some differing thoughts about this because when I first saw the headline, you know, breaking, Dillian Whyte meeting with Al Haymon, you know, PBC, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a fun day, right? I'm thinking, oh wow, and then I heard the clip. I'm like, okay, like it's all right. Headlines kind of just misleading, fight hype, but I mean it is fight hype.
Clickbait.
It is not shocking at all. You know, the line, a few interesting meetings has been obviously taken to mean Al Haymon meetings because he's at a PBC event via obviously Broner Pacquiao. Him on a fight-to-fight basis, that's I think really legitimate news that we can get to and saying, oh wow, that's kind of shocking to me. I thought he would be on at least a 3 to 5 fight basis with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, and that would just be a continuing relationship. But it being a fight-by-fight basis, that is slightly shocking. That does allow a lot more fluidity with Dillian Whyte's matchmaking going forward in terms of what we can think about. You know, he is much more of his own boss, so to speak, than a lot of other boxers right now. And we've talked about this before, about how like there's a lot of boxers out there that you think about that really don't have the deals you think. They don't have network deals. They really don't have promotional deals that are long-term. So that's how we get these situations. And we just don't know about it. It takes an interviewer sticking a microphone in front of somebody, asking a few questions for that information to come out. I don't think we see Dillian Whyte move to PBC and Al Haymon. I know, very shocking. I think this is all very clever negotiation by Dillian Whyte in the media. Another thing we've talked about a lot on the show is how you strong arm people through the media, through PR basically, and talking points. And him saying, "Yeah, I'm a fight-to-fight basis. I have interesting meetings coming up. I'm at a PBC event. Blah blah blah." And he'll let Eddie Hearn make the connection. He'll let Fight Hype make the connection. He'll let us make the connection, and then start talking about it. And then Eddie Hearn's going to come back with him with the better offer than what he first had for that AJ fight. And I think we get AJ versus Dillian Whyte too at Wembley in April, and all is right with the world. But Rob, I know I just ranted for a bit. Your thoughts on about the second in command of the Matchroom Army, in a sense, potentially leaving, and him being a free agent?
Yeah, it was interesting. I was like, I mean, shout out to Sporting Icons. I said to him, "Are you on top of the Dillian Whyte stuff?" He said, "Yeah, I actually spoke to him earlier, and he did tell me he was in America. So thanks for costing me, my phone bill when I could have just WhatsApped him and done it for free." But yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree with you, but as part of me feels he really is, perhaps gone to see, what can I get? Let's see, let's see what people want to offer me, or let's see what people have got to say. I mean, he said about the low ball offer was, utterly ridiculous offer that he was given. And Eddie's kind of said it's actually double what his highest purse is. So there's, I don't know. It's a tricky one, but I think Whyte has built him, like he said, he's built himself into a position. I mean, especially here in the UK, almost like he's building himself as that pay-per-view star. He's done like 3 pay-per-views now, and doing, from what we're hearing, maybe reasonable numbers, sort of 400,000 buys and things like that with Derek Chisora. So does he go over to the PBC side? Could he be the PBC, face of the UK on ITV? Could he be that guy? We've obviously got some news later about Joe Joyce and things like that, but he could be over on the ITV side of things for PBC, maybe. But I don't know. I think he'll stick with Matchroom, like you said. I think apparently another offer is going into Dillian regarding the Joshua fight, and we'll see from there. But I think it's interesting that he's gone all the way there for Broner Pacquiao, Pacquiao Broner, whatever, whichever way around it is. Like, who cares? It's just interesting that he's there. It's just interesting that he's gone out there. But, you know, obviously we know Eddie Hearn is in America as well right now. So, you know, Vegas to New York or wherever is not a million miles. It's a comfortable flight for people with a lot of money. So who knows? Perhaps they're going to iron out the deal, and next thing you know, we'll be just about to go live, and Joshua Whyte will be announced. So
you never know. That's definitely true. I really have nothing else to say about this topic. I think it's just talking to the media. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's a lot of substance to it other than we just know more about Dillian Whyte's information, which doesn't automatically mean he's meeting Haymon, doesn't automatically mean he's going to PBC, doesn't automatically mean X, Y, and Z.
No, totally. And just a little more. I'm waiting for Michael Benson to tell us where he's got this from. It might actually be on Matchroom's, but it says Daniel Jacobs has signed a new 3-fight deal with Matchroom USA and DAZN, starting with Canelo on May 4th. So another 3-fight deal with Matchroom USA for Jacobs. But yeah, the Dillian Whyte thing, again, you know, watch this space, wait for the 50 Eddie Hearn interviews and the Whyte interviews to go back and forth. And he said, she said, this, that, and the other, and everything will be fine at the end of it. But we'll see. Interesting, though.
Callers, just so you guys know, I will be going to callers after we wrap up with the fights. We will have some more news topics after that, but once we get through the fights and the predictions and previews of that, we will go to callers 323-870-4051. Press 1 to get in the queue. If you're international, email me, mixedcombatradio@gmail.com to get a free international and permanent call-in link. But let's get to the Eddie Hearn information about the new offers, both with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Let's first go to the Fury offer, and then let's go to his long diatribe of Wilder and having to go back to 2 years ago with that shit. Oh, my God.
Let me tell you, the reason I didn't offer him 60-40 is because I had a conversation with Tyson Fury who said, I do not want a percentage split. So make me a financial offer. The financial offer was on the estimated budget at 60-40. For the record, if Tyson Fury wants 60-40, he's got it. No problem.
So that's basically just Eddie just, again, talking about how he gave Fury a flat fee because Fury asked for a flat fee. And he would give him 60-40. Cool. Rob, thoughts on that? I don't have much thoughts on that because it's just Eddie talking. And I forgot. What channel is this coming from, this interview? It's like Blue.
That one was
Blue Blood Boxing.
Blue Blood, but it was also like, you know, when there's a media scrum. So that's just the one that seemed to come up on my page. But I think it's on ES News. It's on various ones, all filming the same conversation. So shout out to all of you guys that were there.
Anyways, so you
what do I think of it?
Do we care?
Yeah, of course I care because it's
Eddie.
No, not because it's Eddie.
It's family.
Yeah, it's family. Keep it in the family. No, because it's interesting stuff, you know. Because obviously you done the show yesterday. I wasn't available. I was still coming back from work and had things, but. Right. About, you know, it possibly going to purse bids and that the WBC ordering Wilder Fury 2 and that the split, if it isn't agreed to, if they don't come to an agreement, the split is 60-40. Now, I think Eddie regarding saying if he wants 60-40, he can have 60-40. So if you're Tyson Fury, do you want 60-40 with Wilder or do you want 60-40 from a Joshua fight? Now, to me, the Joshua fight in the UK, 60-40 of that is a lot more money than 60-40 with Wilder. But so I just think it's thrown that out there that what if Wilder Fury thinks actually I don't need the Wilder fight right now. I can do that. That's always there. The draw, we can come back to that. But I'll go and get the Joshua fight or something like that. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting, and it seems a bit odd that he wouldn't want a split, but unless he thinks Eddie's going to say, "I'll give you 50 million," maybe BT can fund that. 50.
No, wasn't it 80 million? I keep forgetting because Frank Warren keeps.
Oh, that was in the return. in the second
Oh,
fight.
that's right. That's right. Anyway,
Total.
anyways, I do see your point. Like, if you're just looking at it from a pure numbers standpoint, 60-40 split of a Wilder fight, and I think most people's mind would probably be at least marginally smaller than a 60-40 split of an AJ fight, if not significantly smaller. It is what it is. I just don't think it happens. I don't think it's as much to it at this point. But let's get to Hearn Wilder, because I know you and all the UK fans want to talk about Hearn and the 2-year history of.
This is a long one.
It's a long one, man. We're going to have to break this up, man. Holy shit. But anyways, let's go.
We made him an offer. This is the exact process. We made him a financial offer of $12.5 million. He said no. We made him another offer for $15 million. He said yes. We sent the contract. He never sent it back. They never even replied. Right? You don't have to worry about if I'm telling the truth. I'm just telling you what happened. You choose to believe me or not. Okay? So that happened. Then we fought Povetkin.
That happened.
He boxed Fury. Right? Then we went back and said, okay, fair play. No problem. We're now going to give you a percentage. Right? I might as well tell you. We offered him 65-35. Right? With also the same $15 million guarantee. Right?
So
this time,
percentage and
yeah,
a
both,
flat fee.
both. Right? But in the first offer, which they accepted, there was a one-way rematch for Anthony Joshua. Right? So it's $15 million. If Joshua loses, we do the rematch in America for 50-50. In the new offer that we sent, 65-35 plus the guarantee. It was a guaranteed two-way fight. Okay, so if Wilder lost, we still do fight 2 in America. If Wilder won, we still do fight 2 in America. And I might as well just tell you the numbers now. If Wilder lost in the first fight, he would get 70-30 in the second fight. So he'd get another crack with just 5% less. If he won that, it would be a 50-50 fight in America. Right? That was the offer. From then, now, we're increasing that offer. We'll go to 60-40 for that fight. No problem. But I can't honestly, like, when someone isn't replying to you.
I feel like we had enough, right? Like, we get the gist of it. Quick observation. I like the phrasing he has of it's $15 million plus 65-35 split. Well, it's $15 million guarantee, but he's still getting 35% of the revenue. So it's not like it's an added bonus. It's the same pot. It's just $15 million the guarantee no matter what. So if the fight doesn't do X amount of revenue, he still gets $15 million regardless. But we just heard from him in that same interview that he would offer Fury 60-40. So why would he offer Wilder 65-35?
He said he would now up the offer to Wilder if you let it go. You just got bored.
Oh, I can keep playing it, but I just wanted to break it up because it's a 2.5 minute clip. Yeah. Because he did mention 60-40, but that was for the rematch. That's not for the first time. That's for the rematch.
Yeah. 60-40
for the rematch.
Keep it playing.
Okay.
Or just saying, okay, we're getting there, or we don't like your offer. Why don't you give us this? We're not even getting told what to offer or what they're not happy with. Do you know what I mean? So all I know is that we made an offer they accepted. It never got done. No problem. That happens a lot. Then we improved it. Then we improved it again. But I see Lennox Lewis, I ran at him in a week. He's like, why don't you just offer him a percentage split, 70-30? It's like, we did that months ago. 65-35, done that. 60-40, we'll do that. But they don't want, these people, they want to fight Joshua, but only if the deal is too good to be true.
You told me, wait, that was all that was there. Again, there was no 60-40 offer for a first fight.
Listen. You're not long woke up. You haven't caught up with the news just yet.
Hey, look. We can play it again. I will sit here and play. I will walk through that 2.5 minutes again with you and wait for him to say 60-40 on the rematch. I will sit here and wait. You want to do that?
All right. Read the article because that is breaking down exactly what he said.
Okay. Let me get to the exact part of it. Oh no, huh? That's interesting. Article is different than what he says though, because I just heard what he said.
There's more. That was 2.5 minutes worth. Did you want
well then,
5.5 minutes?
No, I played the full clip. It just didn't have whatever you're saying here.
All right, you know I was under stress.
I understand you're in distress. I understand that. Because in the article, I'll go to the article itself about this media scrum. It says if Wilder lost the first fight, he would get 70-30 in the second fight. So he'd get another crack with just 5% less. If he won, it'd be 50-50. That was the offer. Now we're increasing that offer. We go to 60-40, no problem. That's not what I heard in the clip. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misheard him. That is possible because I was laughing. But regardless.
Yeah. But that is how we stand. He's willing to do 60-40 for Wilder, 60-40 for Fury.
Cool. They don't want to fight you. Speaking of AJ, not Eddie, obviously. They're fighting each other. Like, that's what this is. You know why? Because they want 50-50 up front for the first fight. That's clearly what this is.
Well.
Right?
I don't know. I'm just saying, this was the thing. Eddie started saying this is what they've been offered since the 15 million.
And that's great. I think it's a good offer. I'm not saying it's a bad offer. But I'm just saying, they don't want to fight you. They don't want to fight your guy.
Yeah, I mean...
They want to fight each other, have the rematch. Why? Because they don't want 60-40. They want 50-50.
Do you find it interesting, Wilder's team, fair enough, they're saying we're working on the Fury rematch. And Wilder said on other places, no amount of money interests me for the Joshua fight. I want to fight Fury. So whatever. But since the Wilder Fury has contacted Eddie Hearn regarding the Joshua fight. And
negotiation. It's a negotiation because the Wilder Fury fight's not done yet. Because Fury wants 50-50 for that fight too. All these three guys want 50-50. Or for AJ's sake, he wants obviously more than 50-50. But for Wilder Fury, they want 50-50 for the big fight with AJ. Fury wants 50-50 for both fights at least. So
why is he saying I don't want to telling Eddie Hearn he doesn't want to split offer? He wants just a financial, like a flat fee.
I don't know why he said that.
Because
he came back with a split offer. So it's not like he took the flat fee. You know what I mean?
No, I know, but
even though he asked for it, he didn't accept it. It's a weird thing. I understand like it doesn't make sense, but we're also talking about Tyson Fury. He doesn't make sense a lot of the times.
Like you're saying, he's saying he wants 50-50, but he's telling Eddie, I don't want to split it. I just want tell me a number, like a figure.
Yeah, but then I'll come back and say, yeah, and he got that figure and said, I don't want this figure.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess, but because this was the thing that a lot of people started clowning was the fact that Frank Warren getting mega sort of, it was a ridiculous, a derisory offer, and it wasn't 60-40, but. And then Eddie's like, I don't know how he knows because I sent it to Fury. And I don't know. It's all it's all catty, and he's probably bitter because he's not involved.
Well, Warren's right. It wasn't 60-40 at first, right?
Well, it was
now it is
offer.
What was that?
Yeah, no, he said if he wants 60-40, he's got it. That's what he's saying. But
that's what we're saying now, post Frank Warren.
I mean, it is going round and round and round now. But.
Well, hey, welcome to the game, man. Welcome to the game. Game of Thrones right here, but just fucking boring negotiation with old men in executive rooms. But yeah, I mean, it's very simple. Like Eddie Hearn's going to keep talking about splits, going to keep talking about offers because he wants to get ahead. He wants to be in control of public opinion when it does come time to negotiate. And Wilder Fury aren't really interested, it seems, in my opinion, to really fight AJ next. I think they're using AJ and Hearn as a negotiation tactic against each other because that's what this all is. And let's not forget, there will be a purse bid. Will
they reach an agreement before the purse bid? What's your opinion on that? I know I wasn't on the show, so do you think they reach an agreement without it going to purse bids?
Yeah.
PBC can't afford this to go to purse bids, right?
No, I think they can. I think they can.
With the likes of ESPN and DAZN.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they have Fox. You're forgetting they have Fox. Like, Fox is bigger than all the companies we're talking about. In terms of network power, they are. But, even though Showtime's a smaller network, they still have Big Daddy CBS that owns them. And CBS is bigger than ESPN. CBS is bigger than DAZN. Like, we're talking about big conglomerate companies that are definitely a bigger machine.
So you think
ESPN.
they'd be willing to let this go to purse bids, no problem?
It's not about the money. You brought up money as the issue why they can't go to purse bids. That's not the issue why they don't want to go to purse bids. They don't want to go to purse bids because they want to make sure that the location is where they want it. They want this fight in Vegas. They want that Vegas cut. And if Hearn wins it, if ESPN wins it, if Frank Warren wins it, the fight's not guaranteed to be where Al Haymon, PBC, Fox, Showtime, whoever it may be, where they want the fight, where they want to get their cut of it. And that's very simple, in my opinion.
All right. I just wonder, obviously, like you're saying, PBC have got more money than all of them or whatever. So how do they definitely secure that, what their bid would be? Does the idea that ESPN and DAZN could come in for this mean they have to really make a really, big bid to definitely secure it? Can DAZN and ESPN put pressure on?
Of course. This happened with Hooker Salcedo. Like, do you have a short-term memory loss or something? Like, we had a purse bid situation that was exactly like this, where third-party entities were coming in and bidding on it. I want to say Haymon representatives, the PBC representatives, were at the Hooker Salcedo purse bid and were bidding on it. And obviously, ESPN ended up winning it. But yeah, this is a very recent thing that we have talked about. Does it? And look at what that fight produced in terms of the purse bid. It was ginormous. It wasn't like a 2-point-something million purse bid, and Hooker took like 1-point-something million off the top. Like it. Yep. So yeah, you're right, of course. But that doesn't automatically mean that if DAZN, if ESPN are there, is that going to put pressure on PBC? Of course it will. Does that mean they're going to get it? I don't think so. You think PBC is willing to let go of Deontay Wilder in terms of control?
That's what I mean. So is it going to take a monster bid by their PBC to definitely ward off the DAZNs and the ESPNs and stuff, because they've obviously got
of course
they big financial backing. So
yeah, but so does PBC.
Yeah, but my point is, Eddie. I mean, Eddie's mentioned this before. I think I've heard Bob Arum say it before about these purse bids, that even if we don't lose it, I'm going to make sure. I think Eddie said, it's like a what did he call it? Like a war chest that he can, like a arms race. Like we can like almost throw in a big bid, and if you beat it, well done. But you've just burnt up that much of your. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can come in heavy-handed with a bid. Even if we lose, someone's pockets are going to dry out.
Well, yeah, that goes with like any sort of bidding. Like, take out boxing purse bids. It could be auction bids at some art fair or whatever. If you're bidding on it, that you could do that. You could in a sense artificially inflate the market value of whatever you're bidding on through that way. But I don't think no one's going to get broke from this fight, if that's what you're trying to imply. Like,
I'm not saying.
Well, no. I
bankrupt anyone.
Hey, I know. Hey, Robbie Hearn. I know your cousin has been saying forever that Showtime's bankrupt. They don't have the budget. Blah 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 blah. And then they just re-up their deal like a week after that interview dropped. This fight won't bankrupt anyone. Everyone's gonna be completely fine with a purse bid with this fight if it is to happen. But guess what? It's not happening.
I'm just saying, it's interesting that my opinion is PBC can't afford, as in money wise. I mean, we'll be doing everything to not let this get to purse bids because of other entities coming in and throwing a lot of money at this fight. Because I think a lot of people will be interested in this. They'll be keen to get this done without it going to a purse bid, I think.
Sure, I guess, but I think that's separate from your reasoning. Like, your reasoning doesn't really make a lot of logical sense, in my opinion. But digressing.
It did in my head, so that's
and I guarantee you that people out there saying, yeah, Stephen Espinosa is a weasel, Showtime's bankrupt. Rob is right. They're shook. PBC shook. They can't afford to go to purse bids. Oh my goodness! What if the zone gets it? Yeah, they'd be fine. It's okay. Anyways, digressing. Let's get to the fights this weekend. I think that's all, right? That's all we had for the offers.
You want to just mention what I sent you, or
sorry. Yes, Sky Sports reporting that Dillian Whyte and Dominic Brazil are open to heavyweight fight talks. That's not saying that they are talking. They're saying that they're open to talks. Cool. Well, and the thing is now is like nothing. Now that we know Dillian Whyte's situation, nothing in the last 12, 18 months like was a barrier to that. You know what I mean? Like Dillian Whyte's always been on a fight by not always, but he's been on a fight by fight basis for a while now. It seems. At any point in the last 18 months, he could have fought Dominic Brazil and took that mandatory spot. So it's cool. Like it's to me, it's like it's an attempt at breaking news that really isn't news yet, and also like it's nothing that is again new to the situation. Like Dillian Whyte has been on a fight by fight basis for a while now. He could like this Brazil negotiation or opening of talks, whatever it could be. Could have happened at any point in the last, X amount of time. So it's again, is it really news? Are they really going to fight? I want to hear they are talking, not that they're open to talks. You know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying, but I just just going along with him being over there and Dillian Whyte possibly joining PBC and this, that, and the other. So. Mm-hmm. Just sort of kind of went along, maybe that's the reason because he's there to negotiate a Brazil fight.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I always, when I see that, I think why would Brazil even entertain that and lose his mandatory spot at Wilder? Not that it looks like he's going to get called anytime soon, because obviously the WBC have ordered this one, but they haven't ordered a mandatory for however long. But no, I think that's just the point. Was Dillian Whyte's over there. The rumors of joining Haymon, and now there's, Brazil coming out saying he's open to talks with Dillian Whyte. Just all sort of maybe pieces together,
Sure, sure. And I'm just saying, like, I just need more yet. Like, this is just cool. Like, at any point, this could have happened, But anyways, digressing. Let's get to the fights this weekend. Pacquiao versus Adrian Broner on Showtime pay-per-view. The start of really testing the market landscape of boxing in the U.S. with all of these pay-per-views. This one might do actually quite well. Might even do better than Wilder Broner, which is actually unfortunate because I think that's going to be the wrong lesson to learn from these pay-per-views in my mindset. I feel like this is a pretty obvious fight to pick and just sort of like break down. Pacquiao is the faster mover, throws more in combination. Him being the southpaw, I think, is going to give Broner a lot of issues. I should see Pacquiao throwing a lot of jabs, circling around to the weak side of Broner, landing left hands, going to the body, and breaking Broner down. And by the 10th, 11th round, he might even get Broner out of there just from accumulation. Because, again, this is not the Broner that fought Maidana. This is not a Broner that was, all spunky. This is a Broner that's depressed, that's going off on rants about Al Bernstein, who's one of the nicest guys in the sport. A guy that's dealing with legal trouble as we speak. There's a lot of red flags for Adrian Broner, let alone that in the ring he hasn't really produced anything close to elite, elite skill, elite substance in the ring. He hasn't just done it for a while. So I think, again, Manny Pacquiao, even in a faded state, I'm picking TKO over Adrian Broner by late 10th, 11th, maybe 12th round. The best thing Broner can do, his biggest hope is to land a counter mid-combination of Pacquiao and hurt him. But is that probable? Is that more than likely to happen? And I talk about this a lot on this show. There's a lot of things that are possible in a fight. There's a lot of things that can happen in a fight. But what is probable? What is more than likely to happen? Is Broner more than likely to knock out Manny Pacquiao? The record doesn't show that. The empirical evidence we can go back to does not point to, yeah, Broner can knock out a guy of Manny Pacquiao's skill, ability, and just stature. But yeah, Broner, probably gonna get finished at some point. Rob, your thoughts on this main event? That you get for free.
We do. ITV4. Tune in. No money needed. Yeah, I've got Pacquiao winning this by unanimous decision. I think we've seen it consistently for a little while now, that while he looks real good in spots and flashes, Broner just doesn't throw enough punches. He likes to do that sort of last few seconds of rounds to look, to walk back to the corner with his hand raised as if like, yeah, I won that one. But I think in the Mikey fight, we saw that get kind of done to him. Sort of Broner looked sort of good at the start of the rounds, and then Mikey would catch him. He would shake his head and say, no, that didn't hurt me, which generally means it did. And then Mikey turned it up with the last, that last minute, 30 seconds of a round, and just took most of the rounds in that fight. I think Pacquiao will look to try and keep Broner a little bit at range. Because I think Broner, when he gets in a little closer, is a lot more dangerous. But I think you're right. I think apart from the stoppage, I think you're right. Pacquiao was just going to be too. I think his speed and not that Broner's slow in that department. Sometimes he does throw some like heavy looking, fast shots, but they're just too few and far between. I think he just it's always been the word people say about keeping his hands in his pockets and not letting his hands go.
Like, you know this probably better than anyone. Like the old stereotype of the Euro bum, the high guard, walking in, taking shots. That's Adrian Broner. Like, he's the he's the U.S. Eurobum style. Like, he has the high guard. He's trying to counter. He's trying to land on the body, and he throws in single shots, not really in combination, and it's all power shots. And he just eats combinations continuously throughout a fight. If a guy like Jesse Vargas, if a guy like Mikey Garcia could land shots at will, Adrian Granados can land shots at will against Broner, yeah, Pacquiao's going to have his way.
Yeah, unless we see some like getting old in the ring on the that father time catches up with him. I just think Pacquiao's going to be too good, too fast, too clever, and I'm going to give Broner some credit. He always seems very try hard. He doesn't necessarily give up. He's got heart, and he's got a real good chin. I think. Obviously, we've seen him. Is it only Maidana that has put him down? I just feel like when he has stepped up, he's come up short. That's all. When it's been the big moment, I think he's always come up short. Absolutely. And just because of what he's like as a character, as a person, as a sales pitch, he keeps getting given these opportunities, and
he does numbers. He does numbers.
So yeah, numbers speak for themselves.
You talk about Al Haymon stable fighters that can do numbers. I mean, obviously you have Mayweather, but it's Wilder and Broner. Like, those are the two guys that do the biggest numbers consistently for that company. So regardless of his out of the ring antics or even in ring antics, or lack of elite caliber wins, he is always going to get these opportunities because he gets the views, he gets the ratings. It's the nature of the beast.
It is, yeah. And interestingly, hearing reports that Floyd Mayweather is going to be ringside.
It's bullshit.
Is it? Is he not?
No, I mean, like.
I thought he was like, no, he's not, Rob. Your reports are wrong.
Well, I mean, I've seen people like Eddie Hearn included going like, oh, I'm just saying, like, hey, I think Mayweather and Pacquiao is gonna get in the ring after Pacquiao wins. It's like, yeah, duh. Like, they're gonna, like, that's a very likely outcome that we see Pacquiao win. Mayweather gets in the ring and they, set up the fight for May or whatever, or probably in April, and they fuck with Canelo versus Daniel Jacobs. And I mean,
But that's
Captain
not
Obvious.
that's not a similar thing anymore, is it? With the zone deal, like Floyd can go on Showtime pay-per-view, no problem, but people can still tune into Canelo as a subscriber. It's not really.
That's true, and actually, that would be more of like that would actually damage the Canelo fight more than the previous version of that, which was pay-per-view, right? Which the McGregor fight and obviously the Triple G fight, and how that was a week before, and that most people's minds, I think that took away from at least some sales of Canelo Triple G the first fight. For this one, you can't really do that because it's not the same, medium for consumers. But what you can do is put it directly on top of it and directly compete with it. And obviously, DAZN doesn't release numbers. And obviously, it's a very new app. Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather 2 could do, respectively abysmal numbers for them, which would be a million pay-per-view buys, and that would still seem like a ginormous win for Mayweather over Canelo again. You're right. Interesting.
So, where would you suspect if they did do this clash of? Where would the fight be held? Vegas, right?
Oh well, no. Well, I mean, because
T-Mobile's booked, taken.
That's the thing. You probably can't compete 1-to-1 with Canelo in terms of a location if they go to Vegas. But Mayweather owns that city, like in a way that very few fighters have ever owned a city. Is it possible that he could sneak in here and sort of take the T-Mobile Arena before, the Canelo fight gets finalized for T-Mobile? I don't know. Because like you said, Lance Pugmire reporting, like Golden Boy execs are going to have to go talk to MGM execs, because MGM owns T-Mobile Arena, for those who don't know, and have to, finalize the deal. Could Mayweather swoop in and get the better deal? Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Is it probable? I don't know. This is up in the air in a lot of ways.
I mean, 36 minutes ago, Lance Pugmire said, told by Oscar De La Hoya right now that Canelo-Daniel Jacobs fight will be at T-Mobile Arena. Just a matter of setting a few details before the agreement is signed.
Okay, so let's assume that they locked that date down. What will happen for Mayweather Pacquiao? Maybe LA.
Let's just see if he even gets in the ring. We're proper speculating right now.
Well, I think regardless of him getting in the ring, I still think the fight happens. You know what I mean? I don't think you need that in-ring moment necessarily. Not for this rematch. Not for this rematch.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're the same age, I guess they can do it whenever. They're both going to be equally, that same age. It's not like someone will say, "Oh, Floyd's waiting for Manny to get old," or they're both old.
Exactly. Co-main event. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry. I just said who wants to see it, really.
Not me. I mean, I kind of want to see it, but I don't want to pay for it. Badou Jack versus Marcus Brown in the co-main event. I think a really nice co-main event to this pay-per-view. A title eliminator for Alexander Vazquez, which I think will be obviously a story we get to on a later show about how that goes to purse bids, and that would be an interesting dynamic on who wins that one. But who wins this fight? Badou Jack, Marcus Brown. This is a fight that I've been going back and forth for some time. If Marcus Brown has been consistent, if he had sort of stayed away from his legal issues, his domestic violence troubles, I feel like I would pick Marcus Brown to win. I feel like he's improved fight by fight, especially since that Hot Rod fight, which he arguably lost. Badou Jack coming off I think he has a win since that draw. No, coming off the draw with Adonis Stevenson, having some time off, being a little bit older. I don't like that time off and that inactivity and coming off the draw, coming into this fight with a young guy, undefeated. First real big step up. But again, he's been a little bit inconsistent, Marcus Brown. He's had some fights not get made because of his outside the ring issues. So it's hard to expect the A games from both guys here, to be quite honest. I don't think either guy is going to be 100% going into this fight for other reasons other than ability. But the fight itself is still a fantastic matchup. I think Marcus Brown's a little bit more of a sniper with the shots. I think he's a little bit more of a long-range guy when it comes to his boxing ability. I think he likes to come in, dart in and out with that power hand, and look to set up shots that way, while Badou Jack is far more fundamental, far more of a guy that's standing behind the jab, going to the body, working combinations. I really think Badou Jack is probably the safer bet. I think he does by far the better work. I think he does by far the more consistent work, and he just has a better resume at this point. So I'm going Badou Jack hesitantly, but it's a very interesting matchup in a lot of ways.
I'm going Badou Jack easily.
Oh.
Because according to the WBC boxing account, it's Badou Jack versus Marcus Brown from West Ham United Football Club. Yeah, and then they had to amend it. They were like, "Oh, my bad, not the Marcus Brown of West Ham United. I mean, Marcus Brown, the boxer." But I still stand by my Badou Jack pick. I think, I think he's going to be plenty good enough to beat Marcus Brown, in my opinion. And what did they release? The winner of this faces Gvozdyk.
Gvozdyk. Don't pronounce the G. Think about it that way.
All right.
This is Gvozdyk.
Gvozdyk. Yeah. We'll face him. So that's a good fight. I like that.
Great fight. I can't wait for that. And also, can't wait for that purse bid and that negotiation process. Because I think Bob Arum, knowing Bobby, he sticks out for purse bid on that one. Let's be honest. He's one of those guys. When he gets the notification from WBC, right? Hey, Badou Jack won the fight. You now have to negotiate in this period. Purse bid on this day. He's like, you can just send the letter back. No, purse bid now, bitch. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's see who wins.
Forward the motion for an early one. Let's just get it done.
Just get it done.
But shout out to Bob Arum. He's already on record today at the New York presser for Crawford Khan that this does 1 million pay-per-view buys.
Did he say that?
He did, yeah.
Man, Bob Arum's on that good weed, man. When you get glaucoma and you get the good weed, like the good medical weed, that's some good shit, man. Shout out to Bob Arum. He's talked about this. Isn't like it's news. Like he has talked about smoking weed numerous times in his old age.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that, by the way, or am I like breaking news to you?
No, I knew that.
Okay. Just making sure.
Even if you didn't tell me, I had a hunch.
You can tell. His eyes are always bloodshot. I wonder why. But digressing, Rashid Warren against Nordine Obali. Obali undefeated. I don't know much about him, but that fight is the winner of that fight for the vacant WBC World Bantamweight title. They will fight Takumi Inoue next per the WBC, and they're ordering. Can't wait to see what happens with that one. I've always been a fan of Rashid Warren. Always been a fan of his boxing ability. Next card of the weekend, Dimitri Andrade versus Artur Akavov on DAZN. Amanda Serrano versus Eva Vorberger. TJ Doheny versus Rohi Takahashi. Really good fight, I'll be honest. Probably the best fight. One of the better fights of the weekend.
And very quick, apparently it's Danny Roman unification after this, if Doheny gets through it.
I'm all for that. Jorge Linares also on the card against Pablo Cesar Cano. Chris Algieri against Daniel Gonzalez. I'll be honest. Like, this is all A sides. The Doheny fight's really good. That should be a fun fight, but I think every fight on here is probably going to be a little bit one-sided, to be quite honest.
Do you know anything of the young amateur that they signed, Eddie signed? I think he's on the card as well. Unless he was just there for the press conference. Let me quickly find.
I don't see anyone making their debut. So
maybe he's not then. Maybe he's not. He was just there as part of the.
I didn't see that news
announcement. I'll find his name quickly, but A side, I guess, card. I'm still gonna be like, give DAZN or Eddie on DAZN that little bit of time to really get his feet, under the in the door kind of thing and really try and make a mark. I think 5 months in is a bit. It's just a little bit soon to judge. So, stop judging people, Matt.
Hey, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just judging the card I'm paying for. But moving on, 'cause again, I think we're pretty much all in agreement with that, and I do want to get to callers. Brian Jennings versus Oscar Rivas on ESPN Plus, and the only other fight that's like firmly official on this card that I see on BoxRec is Shakur Stevenson versus Jesse Rosales. Jennings versus Rivas. Rivas being undefeated. I believe he's a Colombian heavyweight. Yes, Colombian. I've always been kind of impressed with him. Good Olympic pedigree. Going to be interesting to see what he can do in this bout with a huge step up. And obviously, Shakur Stevenson, I'm always excited to see what he can do. But yeah, I'm not really giving predictions on either one of these fights, but just want to make you guys aware of it. ESPN Plus on Friday, so that is tomorrow. Rob, thoughts on this, or you want to go to callers?
We can go. Just the young amateur that he signed is Otha Jones III. He's apparently got a great amateur record, X amount of Golden Gloves and titles and whatever. But
I'll be honest, like I'm awful when it comes to amateurs and being aware of the amateur system and who's coming up. Just being honest.
All good.
Just being honest.
No, but yeah, we can go to callers. That's fine.
Let's go to callers. Free Fights TV. Young Flea himself. How you doing?
Is this me?
Yes, it is.
I waited a whole hour to beat. Now 30 minutes, man. My computer at 7% now. 15 minutes left. Sorry for writing some bad stuff on the chat, though. I was just taking out my anger. But I'm going to go stream some. I'm going to hit the like button on the video.
Thank you.
I didn't know. I felt like hitting the dislike button at first, but I hit the like button now.
You the man.
All right, we got to go live. 3, 2, 1. All right.
It's that.
Y'all already know who it is. Y'all already know who it is, YouTube. Free Fights TV or Justin Dempsey. And we are doing our 4th podcast with MCR Net. MCR, would you consider yourself a hardcore boxing fan?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Why do you think this is a special day for boxing today?
I don't know. Is it like Ali's birthday or something?
Are you serious, bro? Did you wait? Whose birthday?
Is it like Ali's birthday or something?
Okay, good. You got that right. It's Muhammad Ali's birthday today. Also.
And Alexander Usyk's birthday.
Yeah, that's true. I knew that. But also, do you remember yourself saying that Broner would have a hard time facing some southpaws? Because Manny's a southpaw.
I said Manny's ability and combination of boxing ability, his combination of punching, and him being a southpaw is definitely gonna give Broner issues. Yes.
Well, Broner, if I recall, Broner's undefeated against southpaws. But anyway, I felt offended when you said that Broner was depressed and all that, because I personally am friends with his son, and I felt kind of offended when you said that, man.
Hey, look, I understand that you're friends with his son, but he has also gone on social media how many times and talked about committing suicide, and how many times has he talked about being upset that no one is backing him? So you may not like that. That's the truth, but he has definitely been vocal about it. This is not me just talking about it. He has talked about it.
Also, Amir Khan, man, and Terrence Crawford, #bullshit, Hashtag mismatch.
It's
All right.
bullshit.
Army Con Man. What'd you say?
I played a Usyk soundbite saying it's bullshit because I kind of agree with you.
Yeah, that is true. First of all, Amir Khan, man. First of all, work on your chin, bruh. Second of all, you've had 2 fights since you got flattened by Canelo. And Terrence is undefeated, man. You just coming in for the big bag and get the fuck out. Second of all, I will admit I'm being super biased here, but credit to
Do you
Amir
kiss your
Khan
mother with that
because
mouth?
He doesn't duck. He doesn't duck.
Okay.
Also, Peg, I do know what suicide is. It's when you kill yourself. Sorry for being kind of bad on this show today, guys.
It's okay.
Y'all might have seen me happy on the boxing voice. It was just really annoying because now I'm screwed tomorrow at school for not doing my homework.
That is the worst.
And, yeah, especially when you have my bullshit teacher. But, anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Also, why is it, you're a hardcore boxing fan, so also, why is it a special day for boxing?
I don't know, man, because I'm doing a show.
Because Deontay Wilder won the WBC belt, 4 years ago today. Any hardcore boxing fan should honestly know that. Not targeting you or anything, but, you know. And
So wait, hold on. Hold on. Hey. Remember, this is my show, not yours. You do realize that you just brought.
My show.
It's actually not your show because I can mute you at any time, and then you have no content for your YouTube channel, Mr. 11-year-old. So respect your elders. Secondly,
the boxing voice.
That's great. You want to call into the boxing voice again?
No.
Okay. Well, how about you go do that and learn some manners, kid? Okay. Because to mention, it's the 4-year anniversary of someone winning a title, bro. Like, I get that you're a Wilder fan. I get that you are that sort of fan. You're friends with Adrian Broner's kid, so you're a PBC fanboy. I get it. You're 11. You don't have a lot of critical thinking developed yet. But you do realize to say that today is a special day because ex-champion won their belt 4 years ago is hilarious. Like, should we now all say, you know what? When did AJ win his belt? How many years ago was that? Was that 4 years ago? Is that a special date? Should we lock that in the calendar? No? Okay, cool. But kid, again, no disrespect, but you're 11, and you need to learn the ropes a little bit before you start talking greasy to people that have actually interviewed Deontay Wilder. The people that you are idolizing, I've interviewed them. I've had drinks with them. It's okay. Anyways, we're going to go to the UK.
Wait. 11, 50, 90.
And all you motherfuckers are under attack.
It's all good.
Hey, you know what? I'm just not a hardcore boxing fan because I did not know that today was the 4-year anniversary
of the WBC belt being held hostage.
Yeah, amazing. Wow. How dare I not know the 4-year anniversary of something? Not the 5-year anniversary, not the 1-year anniversary, not the 10-year anniversary. No, the 4-year anniversary. We're going out to the UK, 4475. By the way, I hope you do know that you can call in free and internationally, so you don't have to pay for it. I hope you know, and I can hopefully help you out with that. But 4475, who is this? Where are you calling from? Four 475.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Who is this? Where are you calling from?
This is OJ calling from the UK, calling from London.
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. I only just found out about this show and loving the content so far. I sometimes call on the boxing voice, and I think this is a bit more refreshing. at least you get to have a bit more logical conversation, in my opinion, anyway. So, and I guess that's a good thing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So just the whole heavyweight division and what's going on. I mean, and the things that Eddie Hearn's come out with. Kind of wanted your opinion about something actually. So Eddie has come out and said in the rematch, like the latest offer that he's sent in the rematch clause, if AJ loses, he gets 50-50. What do you think about that?
I think that's fine at this point. Like, let's say theoretically, if Wilder was to take the fight at this point, not Fury, I think the deal is completely fair. 60-40 up front. If you win, the rematch is 50-50.
Yeah, because I've heard a few Wilder fans say that that's a docking tactic from Wilder. I'm sorry, from AJ and Eddie. That why should the loser get 50-50 in a rematch?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, and I sort of see where their angle is because, so wait, Wilder has to take 40% coming in as just the one bout holder. He then beats Joshua, and is the undisputed champion, and then in the rematch, it's 50-50. Why isn't Wilder getting the lion's share of that?
Yeah, exactly. Why is he not getting more percentage?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, I mean, do we have any sort of historical perspective on this kind of stuff, on what's been done in the past? Do we know what typically happens?
I would have to do some digging and have the information in front of me, but I would assume that, like, maybe some Sugar Ray Leonard fights had some similar clauses to them. Maybe some Tyson fights had similar clauses to them. Ali fights probably had similar clauses to them. Mayweather. I guarantee we can find some Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya information. I remember they had like a rematch clause, and I think Mayweather was supposed to get a certain split, but that never happened. Obviously, I mean, Klitschko, Fury, I mean, they had a rematch clause, and I think Fury was supposed to get a percentage split based off of the rematch, and he won it. But again, I don't have this information in front of me. I would assume there's something we can go back in history and look at it.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know. I mean, yeah, just curious to know, because I'm really interested in. I'm a boxing fan. I'm an AJ fan, but at the same time, I'm really interested in us having an undisputed champion. I think that's why, in a sense, I agree with everyone who thinks that the AJ Wilder fight should have more priority than even Wilder and Fury, because we need an undisputed champion. And it's not every time we get the opportunity where none of the champions have a mandatory in front of them. So if we ever have an opportunity where none of the champions have to face a mandatory, then I do believe as boxing fans we should demand the champions to fight each other.
Sorry, I didn't catch what you said. Sorry, I apologize.
That last little bit.
No, so I was saying that as boxing fans, I believe that an undisputed fight should trump any other fight. So I don't really get why Wilder really is so much more interested in the Fury fight. I mean, I sort of get it, but I think that for us as boxing fans, we should demand them to try and make the AJ Wilder fight instead. You know, for those like people who have access to Wilder should let him know that for us as boxing fans, that fight is more important.
To speak as boxing fans, I don't think we can say that a Wilder AJ fight right now is truly for the undisputed championship. Maybe in name value, because all the belts are there, but there's a lot of people, including people in the UK, that think Fury won, that think Fury beat Wilder. So I think until we have some sort of clear, concise winner from that saga, I think it does a disservice to that undisputed championship fight.
Yeah, but then at the same time, there's a lot of people who can make an argument for the case that the fight actually ended as a draw. And a few people have,
but even if it's a draw, I think you can still have the same argument that we don't have a clear number 1, number 2 right now. We have a clear number 1 in AJ, and then Fury and Wilder need to figure out their shit. So we have a clear number 2.
Yeah, but if AJ fights Wilder right now and beats Wilder, then we have a clear number 1.
But we already have a clear number 1. Right now we have a clear number 1.
It's still right now. It's still not very clear. It's not clear to anyone that AJ is the best heavyweight. We still don't know. That's why we want all of them to fight each other. We still really don't know that AJ is the best. We're still not. There's still people who are not convinced that AJ will beat Fury or he'll beat Wilder.
Yeah, but you can just look at from an empirical standpoint. He has the most belts. He has the better resume. He has the better names on his resume than Wilder. I mean, he has he may not have a better clear win than Klitschko, but he has a better body of work. I mean than Fury, but he definitely has a better body of work than Fury.
I definitely don't disagree with you.
Again, I understand the talking point that a lot of people are using that, hey, look, this is for undisputed. Shouldn't that come first? I would argue it's just not clearly for the undisputed heavyweight of the world right now. That's not clear to me. That Wilder AJ is that fight.
Well, I'll say this to you. Technically, it would be in the sense that you can't argue with the fact if Wilder and AJ fight now, whoever wins is the undisputed champion.
Well, I said that in name alone. In name alone. And then you have Fury out there who everyone thought beat Wilder. And then the story is going to snowball from there saying, oh, he could have beat AJ too. But they didn't give him the rematch.
Yeah, but in terms of priority, I would think that the undisputed definitely trumps that Fury fight. Fury still does not have a belt, whether we like it or not.
But again, my argument is it's clearly not for undisputed. Wilder's coming off a draw where most people thought he lost. It's only in name value alone that it's undisputed, air quotes.
Well, not just name value.
And again, and you started this whole conversation as a boxing fan. Hold on. You started this whole conversation as a boxing fan. That's the angle of this argument. As a boxing fan, you must agree that Wilder AJ right now clearly does not determine the number 1 guy in the division with Fury right there, and if Wilder does not rematch Fury. We still have another guy out there.
I disagree with you because again,
then agree to disagree. Then agree to disagree.
Because it was a draw. But fair enough, I hear what you're saying.
But again, if it's a draw, we don't have a clear winner from that. Do you understand? Just because you say, well, he didn't lose, there's a draw, it doesn't save your argument.
Yeah, but
it continues to help my argument.
If you had a draw and then someone else that fights the person that you drew with and beats that person, then technically you can argue that the third person is better than the one you had the draw with.
Sure. Agree to disagree.
Do you see what?
No, agree to disagree.
Do you see that?
Agree to disagree. Yeah. Agree to disagree, man.
And I'm going back to the popular saying, styles make fights. We know AJ has the best resume, but there's quite a number of people who believe that AJ's style, or rather Fury's style or Wilder's style, would be a problem for AJ.
Absolutely.
So we're still not clear who's number 1.
Exactly, which again helps my argument. So if we were to skip the rematch when we don't have a clear winner from those two, and now we have a AJ Wilder winner, AJ Fury winner, whatever it may be, we still have another guy that arguably could beat him due to styles make fights.
Okay, so what if in the rematch then it ends up in another draw? Then what happens?
Hey, if that were to happen, then you got to run it back, man. I think that honestly, I think that would be the case.
We keep running it back.
Yeah. I think that. But I also don't think we end up in a draw again. I think we have a clear winner in the next fight.
Not if Wilder keeps being protected. You do realize he's being protected by
the judges that Frank Warren decided on.
Yeah, he was saying the WBC.
Did Frank Warren decide the Mexican judge?
Yes, you do realize how. Do you realize how they pick judges in the U.S.? Do you realize how that works?
Yeah, I thought one of the fighters nominate a judge, isn't it?
I didn't hear what you said. You were mumbling.
Oh, sorry. I thought the teams, the promoters, they nominate a judge.
That's not exactly how it works. So this is how it works. You have a commission hearing, right? The Nevada State Athletic Commission, California, whoever it is. You have that board of commissioners. They will have a set docket for the hearing, and on the docket would be determining the refs and the judges for a fight. So they say the commission, usually the head of the commission would say, we pick these 3 judges, we pick this ref for the fight. Do any of the teams not want one of these guys to be a ref or a judge? And they have absolutely every right to say, no, we don't want this guy to be the ref, we don't want this guy to be the judge, and the commission moves it around. That's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it works.
To be honest, I'm still learning a lot, so I don't claim to know everything. But yeah, I'd like to see the undisputed fight.
But no, let's go back. Let's go back to being protected, because you said Wilder's being protected. How's he being protected?
Oh yeah, that's the point. It's definitely being protected.
By who?
That even the WBC. I mean, for the WBC
how is the
come out and mandate. Let me finish. For the WBC to come out and mandate a fight between Wilder and Fury, that's a protection mechanism. Don't you think so?
Why would them ordering Wilder? Hold on. You asked the question. You asked the question. Let me answer it. You think that the WBC making Wilder fight the guy that arguably beat him, in most people's eyes, is protecting him? Making him fight his hardest fight to date is protecting him. How?
It's protecting him from the undisputed fight, from the AJ fight.
But they're making him fight his toughest fight to date that he arguably lost. It's not an easy fight. What are you talking about? How is that protecting Wilder? You're not making any sense here.
No. Listen.
I am listening.
At the end of the day, we all know that Fury is not going to knock Wilder out, right? And we know that Wilder has, in the past, he's had referees protect him. In the fight against Ortiz, he was helped in that fight. You can disagree or not.
Okay, we're going to move on, man. Because, again, saying conspiracy theories about how the ref saved Wilder in that fight is the same bullshit, stupid-ass argument that Wilder fanboys use to say how the ref saved Fury in the 12th round. And Fury actually went down in that fight. What are we talking about? Wilder didn't go down, and you think that, there's protection. There's a conspiracy of the WBC of a ref that is through the regulatory body, not through the sanctioning body. The ref works for the commission, not the sanctioning body. And yet, they're protecting him by making him fight his toughest opponent, making him keep taking shots in a fight. Again, the arguments here are just fucking bullshit. I know, Rob, you may disagree with me on this, but the idea that the WBC, that there's this mass conspiracy to protect Wilder makes zero sense. Zero sense to me. I think it is some bullshit tinfoil hat conspiracy.
I think they're happy to make the money. That's
that doesn't mean they're protecting Wilder.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I know you're not saying. I'm just adding to it. Relax, tag team.
It's just I think the kid's got under your skin.
Nah, that kid wants to come back. Kid, you're not coming back, man. Like, you can come back maybe tomorrow or the day after, but you got your one call. And you want to talk about 4-year anniversaries of somebody winning a belt. So we're going to move on. Rob, though, sorry to cut you off.
Actually, it's funny you say that. The belt I'm wearing, I got that, I think, 2 years ago today. So shout out to my belt. It's black leather. Beautiful. Yeah, I don't know about... it's a corruption thing, protecting Wilder. I mean, the thing is, people say, look, they haven't ordered a mandatory for fucking this long. He's only had one. They're doing this so he doesn't fight Joshua. He can just say no to this fight and go and fight, accept Eddie Hearn's offer, I guess. So I don't see it protecting him in that regard. But I think people question, like, there's like a Dillian Whyte at number 1 and number 4 Brazil is supposedly the mandatory and things like that. But I don't know about some conspiracy to protect Wilder in some.
And again, like I know, like people think that boxing is super corrupt, and there's obviously some corrupt nature of it. Like we've talked about this a lot on the show, and I know we have a lot of new listeners. Go back and try to find shows I've talked about WADA and VADA and USADA, and the corruption that's innate in that system. But to make a guy fight his toughest fight to date that everyone thought he lost, that's somehow conspiring to defend that person and protect him. Again, I'm not saying conspiracy theories are wrong. I'm not saying that boxing is not corrupt at times, but this is the hill you guys want to die on, Matchroom fanboys, really? That the WC is corrupt in protecting Wilder, making him fight Fury? It's a stupid hill.
If anything, if the WBC were protecting him, they would have said, no, Wilder has to fight is mandatory.
Yes.
Not the guy that everyone in the world thinks beat Wilder, So
thank you, Rob. That made so much logical sense, and I'm sorry I did not say it, and that you beat me to it. But yes, like if the WBC was really protecting Wilder, he would have fought Brazil, if not earlier last year. Come on here, fam. You guys are ridiculous now with these conspiracy theories. Like, sometimes a judge is just bad. Like, the incompetent judging is far more of an issue than corrupt judging. Why? Because, like the instance I state, promoters and teams have every right to say, no, we're not going to work with that ref. No, we're not going to work with that judge. That absolutely is within their power. So, anyways, digressing. We're going to go to Gary in Dallas. I need a Gary call. I need a palate cleanser. Maybe talk about Keith Thurman. Please don't talk about Keith Thurman. That was a joke, Gary. Anything?
Oh, we're going to get to Keith Thurman.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. All right, Gary. What's up, man? How you doing?
First off, a couple of things, Matty Million. First off, big ups to that kid for remembering what day Wilder won his title. You don't have a couple of dates that are like permanently implanted in your boxing brain?
Do I have any dates that are like permanently ingrained in my head?
Yeah.
Not really dates. I can't recall off the top of my head like when like Diego Corrales and Castillo fought. But that fight's ingrained in my head.
Okay.
Right? Like dates like that have never worked for me, no. Especially 4-year anniversaries.
Okay, I do. Friday the 13th, November 13th, 1992, Holyfield fought one. November 9th, 1996, Holyfield Tyson. December 15th, 1995, Arturo Gatti won his first title, 180-pound belt against Tracy Harris Pass. So, but that keeps you good company because I remember those dates too. And we're talking 25 years ago now. And I still remember those days. So that kid, good for him. He's in good company.
But Gary, you never call in saying, hey, do you know this is the 13-year anniversary of so-and-so fight? If you don't know that, you're not a true fan. If you don't know this, you're not a true fan, guys, okay?
We just passed all those dates here in the last month or two, but you can rest assured, moving forward, I'm going to call in every year and ask you if you know what November 9th, 1990, November 9th is, why that's an important date. So you can thank him for that, because I'm going to do that every year moving forward until you retire, and you're only 23. So you got a lot of phone calls coming your way.
Yeah, but Gary, you got a long. I think Matt will still have some years left after you've finished asking that question via death.
Via death.
Yeah, and I'll be gone before that, so I won't hear it.
Yeah,
anyway.
like Rob taking swipes at an old guy when he's like the oldest guy that we have in existence.
Well,
he's the oldest person I've ever met in my life.
He's around when the pyramids were built, man. Come on.
I'm the oldest guy he ever met in his life.
Oldest.
Met.
And now you're getting on this kid telling him to respect his elders. You know that you're 12 years older than him?
Yeah.
You know who's 12 years older than you?
Yeah. You.
Me.
Yeah.
Me.
And I respect you, Gary. Gary, I respect you. What are you talking about?
Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of you do.
I think I largely
no,
do. I definitely have my prick moments. That's for everyone, even Rob. But I highly respect you, Gary. You know that.
You do. But I like that kid. He's 12, and he's cool, and he handles himself well. 1 Timothy chapter 4 says, don't let anyone look down on you because you are young. I like that kid. He doesn't call in. He doesn't act like a kid. He acts like he belongs there, and I like that kid. I hope he calls every day.
I will say this. I forget his name, but the Free Fights TV is the channel. I will say this, though. There's a time to be a student and to learn and to not be cocky and to not be cocky, to not act like you're a know-it-all. And he's 11. Like, he hasn't hit that moment in life yet when he goes, holy shit, I thought I knew it all, but I don't know jack shit about life. Holy crap.
You haven't hit that yet, man.
Oh, I've hit it several times. As a father, you hit it, guaranteed.
Oh yeah, true.
But I mean, wait till he gets high school. Wait till he has his first girlfriend. Wait till he actually has some life experiences. And also, when it comes to boxing, he's only 11 years old. There's a lot he doesn't know yet. There's a lot he doesn't understand yet as well. Let alone people like me and you, Gary, that have been listening to this show or not listening to watching boxing for decades now. I mean, there's stuff we still don't completely understand about the sport, and we are still learning and are acting as a student at times. And that's what I just want to really, really implore for the kid is that, hey, you can come in here and talk that shit. I understand you're on your show. I get it. But there's a time when you need to be quiet and listen and then learn.
Learn from Matt, you will.
If it's not from me, it's going to be from others.
He ain't going to learn shit from me.
Robbie, yeah, but I like that kid. But you're right. When that kid's in high school, if he thinks he knows everything now, how much is he going to know when he's 16? Like, every 16-year-old thinks they know everything. So, he's going to be out of control when he's 16. He's just going to be expert on everything. But I like him. He's not afraid. He's not like Keith Thurman, right? He's not afraid.
See what you did there.
I see what you did there, Gary. That was good.
And then I had another question. Saturday's pay-per-view, the Pacquiao Broner pay-per-view.
Yes.
You're buying this, yes or no?
I don't know.
No, not me. I'm not.
Look, I'll put it this way: if I do buy it, I could do it. I could always do it as a tax write-off. But it's paying, and I'm supporting, this fight, and as just like a consumer mindset right now. Like, I might just take the stance and be like, no, I'm not paying for this fight. Like, I'm gonna watch ESPN Plus, the UFC card, the first UFC event on ESPN, and I'm gonna have just a good old time over there, and I'll watch this fight on YouTube later.
That's the way to do it. If there's a UFC fight on, you got to watch that too. So I would just watch if I were you, I'd watch the UFC. I'd say, I'd watch that.
But it is a Pacquiao fight. Like imagine, Gary, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, we could never imagine a time when a Pacquiao Broner fight was happening, and we're all thinking, yeah, we could miss it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I thought I'd be more into this fight as it got closer, but I'm really, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to pay the ridiculous $75, but I'm really not that into this. Like, I thought I'd be psyched for it. I thought Broner would sell me on it. I'm really not into this. Is there a way to catch the entire undercard? There's a Dallas fighter named Jonathan Steele who's fighting on one of the early guys. Is there a way to catch that? Or are they only...
I doubt it. Maybe Showtime YouTube will show the undercard. I think they've done that in the past for some events. I'll try to keep you up to date, Gary. If I find out, I'll send you a text or something if need be.
Cool. Okay, another thing. You said that there was a clear number one heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you ask me, you, and Rob, top of your head, name the best heavyweight in the world, I think you get 3 different answers from the 3 of us.
I highly
So
doubt
how
that.
is there a clear number?
Let's try it. Let's try
When
it.
you
Let's
say
try it.
that-
Let's try it. Let's try it, Gary.
Wait,
Let's
wait, wait. I
let's
can
try
I'll instantly fuck this up and say no one's saying Wilder. So,
Gary.
Oh.
Gary, what's the name
Okay,
you bring
Fury.
up? You bring up Fury.
Tyson Fury.
Okay.
Yep.
Rob, top of your head. Best heavyweight in the world right now. Go.
Oh, it's a tricky one. I'll go with AJ. I'll go with AJ just for
Okay,
this
Matt,
minute.
you're up.
AJ. It's clearly AJ. AJ has done more at the top level than Wilder. Like, you go through AJ's resume,
That's
it's
a different
clearly better.
question.
To me, it's not.
That's a
To
different
me, it's
question.
not, though. Because we haven't seen Wilder deal with enough styles, enough talent like we have with AJ. We've seen AJ deal with a lot of top talent, and we've seen him deal with it rather well. He's had very few close fights. He's had some boring fights in his reign, but he has not had any real competitive close fight.
I thought, and I know he won, but I thought the Parker fight was reasonably close. I had it I thought that fight was reasonably close.
I just think because that fight had so little action in it, it became close, right? Like, it just became close because nothing happened. But for a Wilder, like, you see him when he does sort of take his 2 fights, he took that big step up, Ortiz, Fury, he heavily struggled. Heavily. And it's not like AJ didn't struggle at times with Klitschko, obviously, or Povetkin or Parker, but I see AJ being the better complete fighter. I've said it earlier on the show. Can Wilder knock out everyone in the heavyweight division? Absolutely. It's of course possible. Is it probable? Does he knock out AJ? Does he knock out Fury? I don't know if that's as certain as it was heading into that Fury fight. I think we all expected Wilder to knock out Fury in relatively quick fashion, move on to an AJ fight, and he was going to be on top of the world. We are in the nature of you're only as good as your last fight, and Wilder was not as good as he could have been in his last fight.
Okay, let me, and maybe I'm alone on this, right? But if you go back when you guys were doing the other show, I picked Fury to win a decision. I saw the odds. Everyone in Vegas was telling me to bet the fight goes a distance. I said, if the fight goes a distance, Fury's going to win on point. So I'm going to pick Fury to win on point. So I only thought that because Vegas told me that, and Vegas is never wrong. You know what I'm saying? Vegas was telling you to bet Wilder by knockout because the fight's going a distance. They wanted you to bet Wilder was going to win by knockout. And he almost did, but it went the distance and it went a draw. But I would have picked, at that point, AJ to beat Wilder. After watching that fight, Wilder landed 2 clean shots that whole fight. They both knocked Fury down. AJ's not a mover. AJ's not elusive. AJ doesn't have the footwork that Fury has. Wilder would knock AJ out. And I think that after watching the Fury fight. So I've actually gone the other way. I would have picked AJ to beat Wilder prior to the Fury fight. Now I think that power is too much. All he has to do is land 1. Like we always say but he didn't. This guy is actually true. If he lands 1, he wins.
Right, hold on. He landed 2. Oh no, he actually landed 3 in that because the second knockdown had 2 punches in there,
and he didn't win.
And Fury got up and he didn't win. So I mean, it can happen. It absolutely can happen. On top of that, you talk about AJ not having the footwork of Tyson Fury, obvious, but Wilder doesn't have the footwork of an AJ.
He doesn't need it. He only needs to land 1, and we saw that.
But
Fury is harder to hit than AJ. Fury's harder to hit than AJ. He hit Fury. He should have ended the fight. Fury somehow got up. But that's not on AJ.
Because maybe Wilder at the very, very top needs more than just 1. Maybe he needs a little more boxing skill and more combination work, more attack to the body, things that he doesn't do. Maybe more fundamental footwork. Maybe cutting off the ring. So yeah, those things matter, Gary. Those things matter.
It does. And could he get outboxed? Yeah, but I think in a 12-round fight, you can see that he obviously carries his power. I think he catches AJ at some point. I think he'd be badly behind on the scorecards when he did, right? But I think at some point in 12 rounds, he carries his power. He stops him. He lands that shot and it's over. I don't think he can avoid shots and move like Fury does, so he gets caught.
Okay. That's definitely a possibility. I just don't think it's a probability at this point, potentially.
So if AJ were to fight Wilder now, in April, if AJ were to fight Wilder, you would take AJ?
Yeah.
Over Wilder.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially heading into, like, after a draw with Fury, where we don't see if Wilder can make the technical adjustments. Yeah. I'm picking AJ. Now, if Wilder comes in against Fury in a rematch and he looks like his footwork has improved, his IQ, his game planning has improved, he's going to the body a lot more, man, Wilder's switched up. He may be the best guy in the division. But we definitely, like, the technical flaws of Wilder allows these guys at the very, very top to A, compete, or B, beat him, in my opinion.
Okay, and Rob, you would obviously take AJ as well, right? But let me ask you this. Fury versus AJ, you would also take AJ?
That's a close
I
one.
think it's similar. It's similar. I think Fury's outboxing AJ. He's probably making AJ miss a little bit. But I feel AJ, if he gets Fury hurt or knocked out, I think he would jump on him a lot more or
more efficiently.
Be a little bit more clinical the way he went about it more than Wilder did.
More accurate. Very simple as that.
That's my belief. I think Joshua. I know this sounds weird, but I know Wilder is a finisher in a sense that he seems to hit someone and that's it. But AJ as well, I think, is clinical once he's got a man hurt. I think he. I think like really.
We'll just compare let's say the finish to Povetkin, for example, for an AJ where he hurt him and then finished him up, to a Wilder Jared Washington finish. Like, the efficiency of both guys is highly different when they have their opponents hurt. Both guys are highly dangerous when they have their opponents hurt, but both guys are diametrically different in their approaches and their efficiency and accuracy when they have an opponent hurt.
I just look at, like, a common opponent. You look at Klitschko, right, between Fury and AJ. I don't want to use the word outclassed, but I'm gonna, because Fury outclassed him. Right? He won every minute of every round. I had that fight 12-0. Klitschko, with a year and a half layoff or whatever it was, and a year and a half older, came back and almost knocked AJ out and was fighting him to even fight. Like, there's ways to beat AJ.
Oh, absolutely.
AJ is not. Like, I don't think AJ or Wilder are unbeatable. I don't know, unless you can knock him out. Fury, I don't know. You can't outbox him for 12 rounds, so I don't know how you're gonna beat him.
Well, Gary, I think
I just look.
Gary, not to cut you off, I apologize,
Yeah.
but we do have to move on. But I will say this, only because we're running out of time and we have to go to another caller. I apologize, Gary. But you did get a lot more time on this call than yesterday's show. I will say that. You got closer to the 30 minutes that you are usually accustomed to. But let's be honest, AJ, Fury, Wilder, if they all fight each other 3 times, they could all split the fights apiece. Like, honestly. We could have a trilogy fight with all of those combinations, and it all be highly competitive. They all could go back and forth. That is how much those style matchups could really play on how the fights happen. We're going to go out to Santiago in L.A. Santiago, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just here working. It's been a pretty hectic but productive day. I went to go see Dragon Ball Super Broly last night. I'm going to go see Glass tomorrow. And then we've got boxing and a UFC fight event that I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow. So it's going to be a very productive and enjoyable next couple of days, to say the least.
Thoughts on, obviously, the fights, Santiago? Thoughts on the news? What do you want to talk about?
Tomorrow's fight, Pacquiao Broner, what's to say? I'm siding with Pacquiao. I think he's got enough in the tank to to eke out a decision win. I think Broner's going to be as hard to hit as he's normally been. But I definitely feel that the inactivity of Broner with the activity of Pacquiao, even at this stage of his career, is going to play in favor of Pacquiao. So my prediction is a majority decision in favor of Pacquiao. And then I am definitely curious to see what TJ Dillashaw is going to look like, because making the weight cut to 125 is something, because I definitely think it's going to be a first that someone moves down in weight to become a two-division world title, right? So far it's been people moving up.
Mm-hmm. Randy Couture. Randy Couture moved down. And technically speaking, BJ Penn, he lost the lightweight title or lost a title shot at the lightweight title, then moved up to welterweight and won it, and then moved back down to lightweight and won it there. So it does happen, but it's less often, less frequent.
Right. Yeah. So I'm definitely curious to see how well it will translate. They seem pretty confident in their progress, and I don't know. I'm gonna side with TJ Dillashaw. I think if they do it right, he's gonna come away the winner. I think probably 5-round decision. What are your thoughts on that?
Santiago, I will say this. I am planning to do an actual show about this. So you want to talk about some boxing, and then maybe we can talk about TJ Dillashaw, Henry Cejudo on a different show. I do apologize.
All right, then that's all good. Maybe I'll catch that one. But your
Santi,
thoughts
what do you
on
think?
Pacquiao Broner, and how do you think that fight's going to play out for both you and Rob?
I think me and Rob are both in agreement here that Pacquiao should win this one. Like, I don't think Broner has anything more than a puncher's chance. I don't see him winning rounds. I don't see him outboxing Pacquiao. He has a puncher's chance.
And Santi, did you see the news? I don't know when you joined the show, but Canelo Jacobs is official.
Oh yeah, I caught that on the ticker while I was driving. I'm definitely excited, and I'm actually surprised to see that they actually did make that fight. I thought it would have been maybe another fight or two before Canelo actually went up against someone like the caliber of Jacobs. I'm definitely happy to see that fight was made. I'm definitely curious to see how well Canelo will fare off against another genuine middleweight, a guy that seems. Hang on.
Damn, Santi.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sorry about that.
Shots at you, Santiago.
Yeah, no, I'll take that, man. I'll definitely take those shots. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how that fight's gonna play out, because the promotion should be pretty straightforward, very formal. I don't see much shit talking with their personalities. But yeah, what are your thoughts on their announcement for that fight?
I'm hyped. I'll be honest. Definitely go back and listen to the beginning of the show. Anyone listening, and catch that first part when the news broke, basically live on air. But I'm happy for it. I think it's a better fight than the Triple G fight, for at least for me as a hardcore. It's one that I can get behind a lot more, in my opinion.
And I think,
oh yeah,
if Triple G is going to sign with DAZN, it kind of makes sense that he doesn't sign a multi-fight deal with DAZN, and the first one's Canelo, with every opportunity to lose that one. And then what? And where does he go then? So I think if he does sign, it's going to build up to the trilogy fight as maybe like the last fight of his deal, maybe if it's 3 fights or whatever it is. But I don't see it being immediately. Well, it's not, because we know Jacobs is next at Cinco de Mayo. So maybe it'll be the September one, and it'll be Triple G's first fight. But I don't know. I think it doesn't make any sense for Triple G to sign with DAZN and then fight Canelo straight off the back. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe maybe Triple G does sign and he gets a fight in, I don't know, April or something's announced that he's going to be fighting, and then it'll be the September fight. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited for the news.
Santiago, I do apologize. We have to move on. We are running out of time. We have to go to more callers. 4479 in the UK. Again, UK callers, email me, mixedcombatradio@gmail.com to get free international and permanent call-in link. And again, free, permanent. If you guys have trouble with that, email me, contact me on social media, and I can walk you guys through it. It's very simple once you guys got it figured out. 4479, who is this? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hello. We can barely hear you. Can you talk a little bit closer to the phone?
1 second, I'll just take it off the... Hold on.
We are waiting. Suspense.
Hello? Is that any better?
Not really.
Hello?
A little bit. A little bit.
Wow. 1 second.
Is this Chris Eubanks Sr.?
Is that better now?
No.
That's a bit better, yeah.
Sure, just go for it. You got like a minute and a half to call. I do apologize because time is running out, but you got like a minute and a half.
No worries.
Spout off what you want to talk about.
I was just going to say about the 60-40 split. So my view on that is that, well, 60-40 is not bad. It's not a bad offer. I think Eddie Hearn actually did say that if Wilder wants 60-40, then he can definitely have it.
Yeah, he did.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we got you. Yeah. Yep.
Good. So, so what I was going to ask you, I guess, is if Fury decides not to take the mandatory spot that's been offered at the moment, do you think there's anything actually stopping Fury from turning it down?
Yeah, he doesn't have to sign a fight, I guess. He can go elsewhere, just like Wilder could sign the Joshua contract if he wanted to. Just because the WBC have ordered it, I don't think that's you guys have got to fight or you're in trouble. You know, it's just them saying make a deal or it goes to purse bids. But if they sign something different in the meantime, then that fight's forgotten, right?
Absolutely. So I guess that's what I'm saying. So I think it's sort of legitimate for Eddie Hearn to offer the 60-40 now, and of course Wilder can still consider that offer right now. There's nothing stopping Wilder from considering, because until that deal is
90 seconds
with either of the fighters, then there isn't anything stopping any of them from negotiating with each other.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
So that's my take on that. Then in terms of I'm just trying to think what else was I going to say. Do you think that Wilder Joshua is
60 seconds
a bigger fight than the Wilder Fury fight?
The Joshua Wilder fight is it a bigger fight than
yeah
Wilder Fury? Yeah,
Wilder
of course.
Fury
Yes, of course.
Fight. Yeah. So if you think it's bigger than the Wilder Fury fight, then really the fight that you would expect the fighter to go for the bigger money fight, wouldn't you? You just go for the bigger money fight.
Yeah, but if you're thinking long term, you would get more money in the bigger fight and a bigger split if you beat Fury. That's what the thought process.
Yes, that's the gamble.
Right. And I agree. I agree with that. But I think, you know, I just feel that that's where he should go.
10 seconds.
At this point in time, because there is also a gamble. Because if it takes the lesser money fight, there is also a risk that Wilder could lose that fight, and then he misses out on the bigger money fight. So why don't you just go for the bigger money fight now that it's available to you? Because you might not get it later on. The first fight was a draw. Some people thought that Fury won that fight. So why not go for the bigger money fight when you know that may be your only chance of getting the money?
Because again, that's a very short term thought process when you're thinking about business. If you're thinking long term, you can lose a Fury fight. Honestly, you got the draw. You can have a trilogy fight with him. You can always sort of rebound back. It's not like AJ fight will just disappear out of existence if he loses. This is still a heavyweight division where we've seen guys like Foreman, Frazier, Ali go back to back to back 3 times apiece. Add in a Ken Norton, add in the Riddick Bowe era with Razor Ruddock, Andrew Galata. Like, people fight each other multiple times. So I don't think there's any immediacy for this fight if you're thinking business-wise. And if you're thinking outside of business-wise, if you're thinking just from a sports perspective, it is better for Wilder or Fury to head into an AJ fight with clearly being the 1 and the 2 of the division. And right now, there clearly is not a 1 and 2 of the division.
Yeah, look, I get you, and my personal view is I don't really mind which of those three fight each other. I genuinely don't actually mind that. But if I was being smart, I mean, if I was either Fury or Wilder, I'll be saying, well, I'll go for the AJ fight now, simply because the reality is that if he loses, if one of them, if they fight each other now and one of them loses, then their value is going to go down anyway when they lose. Ultimately, their value will go down. So
yes. Their immediate value,
the other person will have the upper hand. Yeah, and the other person, the person who wins, has the upper hand. So they're better off going for the AJ fight now. And one, it's what for Wilder, it's an undisputed fight, and if he wins that undisputed fight, he's got 4 belts there and then, and he can go and fight Fury, and he's probably got all the clout from having winning the fight with AJ. So he's better chances doing that. It's a better gamble in my view. Anyways, that's how I'd see it. But yeah, I disagree. I know you also said.
Sorry, go.
I know you also said that the undisputed fight between AJ and Wilder isn't really completely an undisputed fight, because you've still got Fury and there's a dispute over the what happened between the draw. But actually, the reality is, if he wins and he's got all the cards in his hands, then that's really what matters. He's got all the belts, and that's what really matters first and foremost. And then you can take all that, and then you can go and fight whoever else you want to fight. You can go and fight Fury after that.
Okay.
Anyway, that's my view on it.
Thank you for the call.
Thanks for calling in.
I do apologize. I also just don't want you to spend too much money on this call, I'll be honest, because you are calling the UK. Remember, email me, mixedcombatradio@gmail.com. That link is below in the description of the show. So you don't have to, call via collect and, get a big phone bill at the end of the month. I forgot the person's name. I do apologize. I feel nice. We're going to go back to Free Fights TV because this kid's been calling in like several times. And I don't know what he wants to say, but Free Fights TV, you got like 60 seconds, 90 seconds, man.
Yeah, it's not like it's getting late or anything.
Yeah. And we do want to come back with the Boxing Banter Show on patreon.com/mixedcombatradio. If you don't know what that is, check out the free preview on our YouTube channel right now. If you want to go see what that is, and then go over to patreon.com/mixedcombatradio. Go spend $1 a month and get extra podcasts a week.
Minimum, whereas you could spend more.
You could spend more. I mean, but just do the $1. Just go in there. You don't have to do a lot. Just go spend $1 a month. $12 a year. You get at least 2 podcasts a week now going forward, 3 podcasts a week going forward, and plus like a monthly podcast we're working on. That's going to be really fun. So there's a lot to get your money's worth over there for just $12 a year. We talk about how inexpensive the Zone is, inexpensive Mixed Combat Radio is. But again, Free Fights TV, we're going back to you. Really hope you do your homework after the show. Free Fights TV, how you doing?
Sorry, man.
Okay. It's okay.
Sorry, man. A.
B.
But you do realize Wilder, when I was looking at the Deontay Wilder hashtags on Instagram, a lot of people were talking about how, wow, what a big day for boxing. He won this title 4 years ago today, but anyway, that was like 30 minutes ago.
It's a big day for him and maybe his fans, but for boxing, okay.
I mean, anyway, y'all. Sorry, everybody, for being mean, but
it's not about being. It's not about being mean. It's not about being mean. It's about being factual. It's about being aware of the context of your surroundings. And it's something that you just need to learn. Okay, like you can't talk to people that have done the work, been in the industry, like they don't know the work and have been in the industry. You know.
All right. So, sorry, my niggas. And quickly, Free Fights TV, because I know you're 11. If you're gonna work in media, and you're not black, you're not African American, don't say that word. I'm black.
Okay. You may be biracial.
Anyway.
You may be biracial.
Yeah.
But you just have to be aware of that. I mean, look at Logic, the rapper, right? Logic is biracial, but he can't go around and say the N-word, you know?
All right. Yeah, true. Anyway, sorry, MC Arnett
Okay.
and everybody.
Don't need to say
You
sorry.
Can go find me at.
Just learn.
All right. Sorry for fake facts, everybody.
Okay.
See y'all next time.
Have a great day. Go do that homework, kid.
Catch you on the next one.
We have one more caller, actually. I didn't see him. Jose in Canada. Jose, how you doing?
Yo, man, that little kid is awesome, man. You trying to give him tips on life, man? Shut the fuck up. Let the kid say what he wants to say, man. He's calling in a boxing show. Should be allowed to say what he wants, man. He could drop the N-word, the F-word, whatever he wants to say, man. At the end of the day, well, you just think he's a little white boy, man?
I mean, hey, he may be biracial, but he needs to be aware of that he's working in media, and he can't say certain things if you don't have the skin tone.
Come on. There's shows that all you hear is that word dropped, man.
That's true. Hey, I'm talking about working. I'm talking about working in media. You want to go to ESPN? You want to actually make a career in this, kid? Smarten up.
At 11 years old, man, that shit will maybe pull him more views, man.
That's
For
probably
him.
true.
I like that little kid. He's smart. Anyway, what I was gonna say, man. So Broner, Pacquiao. You know, Robbie. First of all, hello, Rob. It's been forever, my
How you
friend.
doing, Jose? How you doing? Are you in Vegas
support,
yet?
You know? Trying to support. Yeah, man. You know, I'm meeting Prince Midi Nassim tomorrow in Vegas.
So wait, hold on. Is it true?
You know,
is it true? Hold on, Jose. Is it true that you, Rockstar, and Midi are all going to be sparring?
You know what it's like with Rockstar, man. He's probably not going to show up.
Are you going to show up? I know you've had a history of ducking sparring in Vegas.
No, I'm going to be with Midi, man. I'm staying with Midi, and he booked the presidential suite for us. You know, he booked a nice big king-size bed for the two of us to share, man. So should be fun. I'm bringing my sexy pajamas just in case, you know. So it'll be a good time. And anybody who's close. I've been really trying. Yo, you know those French guys, man. They're freaks. So, you guys, you're so close to the fight, man. I don't know why you wouldn't jump in your car and head on over. This fight's going to be great, man. You get to see Pacquiao, living legend, and this fight could potentially be amazing, or it could be a dud. So I think for the potential of it being, you know, an amazing fight, it's worth the risk, man.
Wait.
Does that work as well coming from Canada?
Right,
Could it be an amazing fight or a dud?
I just need to understand what Jose is saying. You saying that I should hop in my car and go to Vegas?
Hell yeah, man.
Why?
Dude, because this fight is going to be one of two things. Either it's going to be spectacular or shit.
And like it's going to be
worth the chance for you to watch spectacular, man.
And if it's like really shit, it would be like funny.
Cheap.
It'd be funny shit.
It could be. Yeah, you're gonna see like Broner's gonna try to hump him, and Pacquiao will knock him out. Who knows? But the reality is, it'll either be a really good fight or it'll be terrible. The tickets are going to be accessible and cheap, and it is two high-level boxers, right? At least they've each been at the mountain highs, the tops of boxing, man. So, I mean, and I don't know, man. I think it's worth the risk, Matt. It'd be nice for you to jump in your car and come say hi to your friends.
Oh, okay.
You can jump in the bed with me and Midi. There's enough room for you. You know.
Ooh.
Maybe the young man that's trying to do his career in boxing journalism can learn that boxing brings other benefits like your friends and everything else, right? So
and sleeping in the bed with two other men. Yep.
I don't think sleeping with you and Midi is going to get him to the top of the boxing media world. Not going to sleep his way to the top.
No, and I don't want to suggest that either. Jeez, he's far too young to be doing those things. But
what sleeping?
But anyhow, you guys are funny, man. But you know what? I think this is what I think. I like that you guys are actually talking about this fight because everyone's, I heard you guys earlier talking about, Wilder and Joshua. Man, that conversation is going to get tiring, man. People are talking about it every single day, all the time. That fight will happen when it happens. Right now, it's just they're still negotiating. Fury is the smartest one of the bunch. Fury's gonna not fight. You're gonna see. He's gonna make these two guys fight first because then his fight's gonna be waiting right afterwards, and that fight's gonna be getting them more money. Because at that point, Fury can say he's still the lineal champion, and fighting him is the last thing that needs to be done. Because once these two guys have eliminated themselves, then Fury's still there. He's still left, and the public's going to have appetite for that fight, right? So I think Fury's going to outsmart them all. The Gypsy King is truly the genius of the bunch. And, it's just Wilder's, I think he's digging his heels on principle. He's not going to fight unless he gets 50-50. He doesn't really have to, right? Like the money that he's going to make, he could make in the States by fighting 2 or 3 bumps. That'll equal the same amount as him fighting Joshua. So, I mean, why would he take the risk unless he gets what he wants? And at this point, I think, Eddie Hearn's talked so much. It's turned into really Eddie Hearn versus Wilder because those are the two guys that talk for each other, right? So, I don't know. I don't care. It'll happen. That's all that matters.
Anyway, you guys sound Canelo Jacobs.
Oh, Jacobs Canelo. That's interesting, man. That's very interesting. I think Jacobs is probably a little bit more dangerous than Triple G right now. But Canelo looks like a beast. Like the Canelo that fought that British guy, like that Richie Feeling, whatever his name was. Like, he looked really good, man. Really, really good. And I don't know. He could maybe, be the real deal, man. If he goes in and starches Daniel Jacobs, then I don't know what's next for Canelo, though, because I don't think the Triple G fight's going to be there anymore because I think Triple G might get exposed next fight. A little long in the tooth. It happens to us all, right, Rob?
I'll let you know when I get there, man.
We get old, and these young guys eventually just dethrone us, man. But great job, boys. It's nice to see that you guys are working, on a weekday. You guys should be having more shows. I randomly call you every once in a while, Matt, just to see if you guys are on, and I was glad that you're on today, man. So keep up the hustle, and don't be discouraging that young boy, man. I like him. You should tell him to call more.
Hey, it's not discouraging, man. It's about learning. And just so you know, Jose, and others know, we usually have a show around 1 p.m. Pacific time. If it's a boxing show, it's at...
What, every day?
It's Monday through Friday. Yeah, every day pretty much. 1 p.m. Pacific time. If Rob's available, if there's news, 1 p.m. It may not be scheduled, an hour before the show, but it will be there most likely. If not, you have my number. You can always text me, Jose. You know that.
All right. And just for the record, man, it was about a year ago that I said that Pacquiao and Mayweather were going to have a rematch, and Pacquiao was going to mow his way through the welterweight division, and people laughed. But it's going to happen, man. The rematch is there. If Pacquiao wins this fight, it'll be Floyd versus Pacquiao again. And I don't know, man. I want to see that fight. I know a lot of people hate on it, but that's a fight I definitely still want to see. So
apparently Floyd's ringside. Apparently Floyd's ringside, Jose, and he could be getting up in the ring.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell Mitty to take a picture with Floyd, man. The two best boxers right now in our era, Mitty and Floyd, man. So it'll be exciting.
It will. But you have a good time with Mitty in Vegas. Don't do anything.
I'll make sure to give him a little something there so he can bring back to you as a keepsake, Robbie.
Oh, I'll look forward to that.
All right, boys. Well, thanks a lot for the show, guys. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Thank you, Jose. Thank you. Always appreciate it. Man, that was a long show today, Rob.
It was.
It was. You
in short.
You still want to do boxing banter?
Well, when would it be?
What,
another half an hour?
It'd be a midnight show.
Yeah, maybe not.
Okay. Tomorrow, boxing banter at 1 p.m. And also, I'll do an MMA show tomorrow morning to cover the ESPN Plus card, the first ESPN event of the UFC deal. Big seismic shift in combat sports there. Otherwise, final thoughts. Rob, go.
Yeah, final thoughts. Just another thank you to Sporting Icons. Just, trying to tell his subscribers that we're here. Just giving us that little bit of help along the way, just to get us to the 1,000. And we're currently now, after a healthy little jump today, 972 subscribers. So we're nearly at the 1,000 mark.
Tell a friend.
Yeah, exactly. So again, thanks to Sporting Icons for putting us out there. It's hard, pushing, getting people out there if people don't know you're there. There's no big advertising campaigns letting the world know where we are. So you start small and hopefully things catch on and that. But Sporting Icons helping along the way. That's been really good. So shout out to him. Canelo Jacobs, brilliant. I'm really pleased for that. I was worried that Canelo was going to be spoon-fed, some easy touches and then throw in the odd one that people go, oh yeah, that's all right. But off the back of becoming stepping up to 168, back down at 160, defending all those titles against Danny Jacobs. So that's a really good fight. What else have we got? The Joshua Wilder Fury stuff. Either way, something's getting announced pretty soon because I think Eddie mentioned 10 days to 2 weeks, and they should know what they're doing. And obviously, if it goes to purse bids, that's February the 5th, so that's not that far down the line now. So soon we could all go, okay, the rematch is happening, Dillian Whyte's fighting Joshua or whoever, something's going down, and we can just sit back and wait for those fights to finish and then start talking about it all over again. But follow me UK Rob MCR, Instagram and Twitter, and share the show, hit the thumbs up, head over to Patreon, join up, a couple of episodes of Boxing Banter on there. Matt's championship rounds where you can post questions to Matt. He should probably want to put up a post soon for people to get questions in.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, and Matt, try and get on, getting these things straight onto the iTunes where people can listen and go, do you know what? What a fantastic podcast that was. I think I might leave a 5-star review. So that's all from me. Cheers.
Final thoughts: Canelo, Daniel Jacobs, fantastic fight. Dillian Whyte pulling his shenanigans, fucking with Eddie Hearn. I love it. Always love some chaos in the sport. Eddie Hearn's new offers. Who cares? Pacquiao Broner. Let's see what the consumers are really saying about pay-per-view. I mean, this run of pay-per-views we have in the next few months will truly test how much the consumers in the U.S. will pay for just fights. Nothing great, nothing bad, but just fights. And I think we're gonna see a levy break potentially, and further push towards a streaming era, hopefully. But besides that, like Rob said, smash the like button, share the show, subscribe. If you're listening on podcast, drop that 5-star review. Head over to mixedcombatradio.com or patreon.com/mixedcombatradio. Help support the show in any financial way. Have a great day. Be back tomorrow. Peace.